morning. We have been traveling back and forth a little bit with this man here called All In is his trail name, and he has done the PCT, the CDC, and now he's on the AT. And so just tell us a little bit about how you feel about like backpacking, like what propels you to keep on going like that. That's a lot of miles on the trail.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I loved the PCT. I loved every minute of that experience. The CDT seemed like it was a challenge that was kind of up my alley. And I have to admit, I'm just kind of an internal completionist.
Gotcha.
And so I felt, even though the AT, most of the aspects of the things that I've known about the AT didn't really appeal to me, I felt that I should come out and give it a try and try to meet the AT on its own terms.
Gotcha.
And see if I can kind of enjoy the more social aspects of the trail.
Right.
And, shorter food carries.
Right. Right.
And things like that.
Good. Well, he taught me the clover leap, right? Isn't that what it's called?
Clove hitch.
Clove hitch.
Yeah.
For the PCT hang. And so I'm just, he's been really helpful, really informative, and just to really appreciate all your knowledge and wisdom and that you're pouring in on me. So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah. And thank you. It's been nice to meet you and Ron and to get to chat and hang out a little bit.
Good deal.
Yeah, well, I hope I see you a little further up the trail.
Me too. I think you're a little faster than us, but if you stop every once in a while, we might catch you for a moment.
It happens, yeah.
All right, thanks. Bye, guys. Good morning. We thought we'd start off with a view like this as we're heading up to Trey Mountain Shelter. What a view. Well, we are coming up to Trey Shelter. There's the privy. The shelter's out there in front of us. And Ron is out in front of us. So I'm gonna look at the shelter really quick. Oh, I almost rolled my ankle. So there you go. Good morning. We're just leaving Trey Mountain Shelter and ran into a couple people that we keep on flip-flopping with. Plus we met 12, which was her trail name, and Kula, who is a veteran, and he is hiking with a organization that helps supply the veterans with the supplies to hike, and it's a group of them that are hiking out here, and I wish I could remember the name of it, but hopefully we'll run back into them again, and maybe I'll let him do a little blurb on here and share his information. I wish I would have thought of that at the time, but
We also met Dancing Bear.
we met who?
Dancing Bear.
Oh, and Dancing Bear. Dancing Bear was also at the I just stepped on my brother with my trekking poles as he's working on tweaking his braces. But we took a pretty long stop here. We ate breakfast. He did some stuff for his knees, and but what I was going to say is there are a lot of people here from different walks of life, which is really cool. But the one thing that I've seen more than anything is former veterans and military, and I just think that's awesome, and I just want to thank them for their service, and I think that it's awesome that they're out here walking this walk, and it's nice to be able to share and listen to my brother talk about the military stuff with them. I already told you earlier, he's a retired military Air Force. What was your rank, Ron? Chief Master Sergeant. And we are very proud of him. But I really kind of enjoy listening to him talk to the other veterans and military retirees, and not that they're not veterans too, and just listening to their stories and their camaraderie and all that. It's pretty cool. So we are heading out of the shelter and getting back on the White Blazes and We have a long trek again today if we make it. If not, we've seen a couple sites that we can hit and that are close to our exit point at Dix Creek Gap. And if we don't make it today, we'll get off tomorrow. So it's not all that big a deal whether we make it or not, because we're out here one way or the other. Right, Ron?
Right.
That's the way we go. There's the white place. All right, here we go. Day number 8. And I was thinking, I said that earlier in one of my other videos that was the longest that I had backpacked, but that's not true. I think we actually did a longer hike in the Smokies, maybe 50 or 55 miles, close to that. And then I also hiked the Foothills Trail and got sidetracked on that a little bit. So I probably did 80 miles out there. And I did that in 6 days, mainly because it was super hot. I did it in July. And that was just because that's when the opportunity presented itself. And I had a lot of rain. So I just kind of booked it and made it through. The last day especially was crazy. But so we are probably in the next couple days we'll exceed that. Oh, excuse me. I had granola with blueberries for breakfast cereal. But I think we might walk through our lunch today and just have some protein bars. And what else? It was really cold last night. Really, really cold. But once I got into my tent and got into my quilt, I stayed pretty warm. See mountains up there? But one of the things that I noticed is when we get to camp, when the sun starts going down and it's cold, I don't really take care of much. I just get the basics done and jump into my tent. So I'm looking forward to some of those warmer nights. Not warm like as in hot, but not cold, where I can take the time to take a little bit more time with my personal care. All in all, it's all been good. Every day there's something more to learn. We are hiking up this beautiful trail. Look at the sky. We're getting ready to break for lunch at the swag of the Blue Ridge. Oh, here we go. I don't know, you probably can't read it, but it says the swag of the Blue Ridge, and there's Ronnie. So we're gonna break off here and have some lunch. And then
We'll sit in the shade.
wherever you want, buddy. It's your world and we're just living in it. We just finished eating, taking care of our feet, and we are still at the swag of the Blue Ridge, which is the gap between Trey Mountain and Dismal Mountain. So now we are heading to John Spring for our water supply, and then we'll head up to Big Gap Shelter if we need the privy. Otherwise, we might keep on going. So we'll see.
Try to get all the way to the end, or at least within a mile.
Yeah, we're trying to either get to Dix Gap, or a campsite right before it. So we are at 6 miles, and it is what, around 2 o'clock?
2:15.
2:15. So we gotta get moving. Well, I'm breathing hard again. We just conquered Dismal Mountain. Just hit the summit, and we are heading down. I don't know that it's a good idea to eat lunch before the climb, because I think my body is working on digesting the food instead of helping my legs climb up the mountain. But we are heading down now, and we are going to John Spring to camel up, which means drink as much water as we can over there, and fill up our water bottles with filtered water from the spring. So It's been a beautiful day, and I am humbled by these mountains every time I do a climb. I know I worked out before I got here, and people always say the only thing that can prepare you for the mountains are the mountains. They're not lying, but I just keep on telling myself, where would I have been had I not done those workouts? So I still have no regrets about that. And I feel like I'm either getting acclimated to the altitude or I am getting in better shape. But it just seems too soon for that because it's only been a week. Today is 1 week that we've been on the trail. So I just came from down there and I'm climbing up. There's a blue blaze which signifies water. And this is what I'm bringing back up. Whew. Sorry about that. I had to reposition, but that's where I'm going. Phew. You're gonna need to see all that. You're gonna not even be able to understand me because I won't be able to talk. We are making this climb up to Kelly Bald, and it's over 800 feet, but it has been a butt kicker for us. We have stopped several times. I'm trying to get the sun not in my face. Just to take a break. And once we get up, we go down pretty much until we get to Deep Gap Shelter. So we've got about a little less than 1/10 of a mile. And then hopefully there'll be some beautiful views up there on the Bald. What a gorgeous day. Just got up to the top of Kelly Knob. It was one heck of a climb. And now we'll follow that white blaze over there, if you can see it, and head down to Deep Gap Shelter. Phew, that was a good workout. Phew. We made it to Deep Gap Shelter. There's Ron in his tent, and that's just the shelter right there. Got a couple more tents set up, and it was 0.4 to hike in here. That's my tent right there. See if I can back it out a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. And we're getting ready to eat some dinner. And my legs are tired today, but it's been a good day, beautiful day. It's supposed to thunder on Tuesday, so we're trying to figure out what our plans are. We're going to go into Franklin, but we're just trying to figure out what our miles are and how much. We're going to go in tomorrow to Hiawassee just for one night, and then we're going to get back on the trail and get as far as we can before we get shuttled into Franklin. So I'll share with you a little bit of dinner if there's not a lot of people around. I don't want to intrude on their privacy. It is the end of day 8, and we did 9.3 miles today. We'll do 3.2 plus the 4 to get out of camp to get to Deep Creek Gap and get picked up and get taken into Hiawassee for a Nero, and then we'll get back on the trail and beat feet so that we can get to Franklin before the storm on Tuesday. But it was a great day today. It's the first time I think we've been in our tents this early, just because we got here a little bit early. I got to take our time a little bit more, so it was nice. Tents all set up, and hopefully we'll stay warm. I'm a little chilly right now, but I'm getting ready to bundle into a nice comfy quilt and stay warm. So good night. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.